All right, it is 2 o'clock, so I'm going to get started, and it looks like everyone will be viewing this at a later time. So, looks like it's just me on here. So I'll be pretending like I'm talking to someone else. If y'all have questions, I'll be posting this to Facebook and probably YouTube as well. So feel free to go on the comments and ask questions. We'll get notifications about those, or also just shoot me a text or an email if you have a question about some of this. So I know a lot of y'all in the past have been using green sheets for a while, and we've kind of been teasing that green sheets were going away for a long time. And most of you are aware that now you do have the option to use either green sheets or the commissions tab, but maybe you just haven't really dove into the commissions tab yet. So I'm just going to kind of go over some stuff. And then also in the Loom library that I've sent out to y'all a couple times, you'll be able to access a video on the commissions tab as well. I believe it's the first video in that library. So a lot of resources for you to learn how to use this. It's going to be a lot easier than green sheets, in my opinion. It's going to take a lot less time. A lot of the information is already going to be filled in. So those are just a couple of the benefits to using this. So we are going to start like you have already created an opportunity. Of course, we've added a contact in there. It already has a listing associated with it. You'll see that this is part of my active listings. So it's already going to have a listing associated with it. And if I have made sure that the general information is correct, it's going to already have an address. It's going to have, I can go ahead and put an estimated close date. Let's say it's May the 30th. Close date, let's actually, it won't let me change this retroactively. So since I made this opportunity a while ago, we'll just have to work with that. We actually may set it to that exact date. So you'll see it already has a good bit of the information in there. And so what that's going to do is that's going to help us already have a bunch of stuff in the commissions tab filled out. So in here in the documents tab, we do need to make sure that we have still uploaded the payment approval form. Let me see if I can change this. That's fine. The payment approval form, which another question that I seem to be getting a lot is where can I find a copy of that? If you just click payment approval form, there is a template that I've uploaded in there. You just click that, you'll be able to get that document immediately. You can download it or print it. You're going to need to have a copy of the commission check. That is going to be dependent on whether or not that option is actually there. For some reason, I have found a couple of times that sometimes a place for the copy of the commission check doesn't pop up. That's perfectly fine. Most of you are already getting me copies of the commission checks, so don't worry too much about that. We're going to have, of course, if there's any kind of referral, we need to make sure all the documentation is there. That's for the BIC and the firm's purpose. We need to have those documents on file. And then we also want to make sure that the HUD is in there. And the main thing for the payment approval form for me is if you have already submitted a green sheet or if you have already submitted a commissions, it's going to be tough to change that. I don't want you to have to go through the whole process of redoing an entire commissions tab or redoing an entire green sheet. I want you to be able to just let me know on this payment approval form that this changes to price or commission. This is in reference to the green sheet or the commissions tab. So when you filled out the green sheet, which is of course within 72 hours of the property going under contract, you said that the sales price was 200,000. You were getting 3% of that. But then during the negotiations, maybe that price changed to 195, or maybe you gave you conceded $500 of your commission to the seller or something. That check is going to come in as, instead of 6,000, it's going to be 5,500. And especially if it's like a concession that you gave or something, I'm not going to have any idea where that $500 difference came from. And I know y'all love getting calls from me, but it helps a lot when that information is just right there. I can get it closed immediately, because also you may be showing and you may not be able to answer my phone call, which means I can't close it out until I get that information. So this changes to price or commission is in reference to, that is after you've already submitted a commission or submitted a green sheet. So that's a little tangent that I've just been getting a lot of questions on that recently. I think I see that we actually have 4 people in here now. What's up, everybody? I think you're able to unmute yourselves. So if you have a question while I run through this, feel free to let me know. So I've just started in, I've kind of been talking about how I want people to make sure that even when you're submitting a commission that you have all these documents in here. I still need the information. So we are going to get into the actuality of submitting this commission. And I'm still no expert on it. I still have phone calls with people almost every day, learning something new about commissions, or figuring out where different numbers pull from. So we are going to go right into the first step to getting the commissions tab. You'll see right now that I have a little number 2 by this offers tab. We are going to have something filled out in this offers tab to open up the commissions tab. A lot of people will go in and they'll say, hey, the commissions tab isn't even open for this opportunity. That's because you have to have something filled out, something submitted and accepted in this offers tab to get the commissions tab to open. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click into this offers tab. So you're going to see there's a couple ways I can generate an offer. I can add a new offer, which is just going to let me add one like I would normally do it, or I can generate an offer URL, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it's going to give me an offer number, and it's going to give me a link that I can send out. And I'm going to type that in up here real quick just to let y'all know what that looks like. So this is that. You can fill that in, and when you or when someone else submits that, it will automatically go right into these offers right here. If you want to test that out, I think it'll be a great opportunity to just quickly send out stuff like that. So test that out if you want to. However, if you're doing it purely off of paperwork, then this right here is probably going to be the best way to do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to add a new offer. And I would, some of the information that we've gotten recently, when I first put out a video, I said that you don't necessarily need to fill this in with accurate information. It's just there that you had the option to, and you still do have the option to do a kind of like a placeholder offer just to open up the commissions tab. What we have learned nowadays, though, is that they are tracking this information. And so eventually you're going to have number tracking and information on what offers got accepted, what offers got rejected, if you are accurately filling these out. So it will benefit you in the long run if you're doing these accurately. So let's just say I'm going to name this one Cease Offer Accept. I'm going to create that offer. It's just going to ask me to fill out all the details of this. So let's say offer date, close date. I'm going to leave those. You can change them, of course, by just clicking the calendar button. Now I want to go to the parties. So I'm going to have to fill out information for both the buyer and seller parties. Of course, since this is my listing opportunity, all the seller information is already filled out for me. I can fill out any of the phone facts or that kind of stuff, but I don't feel the need to right now. So now I need the buyer party. Let's just say this is Jason Sass. That's close enough. Fill out some of this information. Who are they represented by? They're going to be represented by this guy. Again, I'm not going to fill out the accurate information right now, but for you in the future, it will benefit you filling out accurate information. Now I'm going to go to terms. Here's where those numbers are going to get tracked. So this is going to let you know, let's say you had 20 closings and you submitted accurate information on all the offers. Eventually you're going to go back and be able to look at what offers got accepted, what got rejected, and have information on kind of for certain homes what a good offer looks like, and for certain clients you'll be able to show stuff like that. Terms cash, let's just say they're doing $20 in cash and $199,980 finance. Earnest amount, again, all this you can fill out if stuff actually goes into that offer. I'm not going to do it right now just for time purposes, but fill out that with accurate information. Here's a really cool thing. We can go into an agent analysis. So this is going to be something you're going to either be able to email or just directly show your clients on. If you submit an offer in here, you can say pros, good offer, cons, $20 cash, summary, I think. And we can save that. And so what we can actually do is once I click save, that is going to show up as one of our offers. It's going to show up right here. I'm actually going to commission this time. Dang, that's actually going to mess it up. I'm going to let me do this real quick, actually, just to make sure. I did not know it was going to do that. Okay, now I should be able to go back. Hopefully this will not slow me down. Let me open up opportunities. Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm going to change the response to, are you sure? Yes. So this is what it'll have when you've actually submitted a bunch and maybe don't have an acceptance yet. You'll be able to see all of the offers that have come in, and especially right now, this is going to be a really cool feature where I'm actually able to select all of these and compare them. So I'm going to click this compare, and it's going to show me a comparison of the summary that I've put, the pros that I've put, and the cons. And so now if I wanted to email that to someone or download it and send it to someone, I could. So that's a pretty cool little feature there that if you can't meet with someone, you can go through and actually put your summary, pros, cons to all these different offers and email that to them. Maybe you're going to have a Zoom call with them to go over some of the offers, but you want to go ahead and email them the information before so they can take a look at it. So again, another tangent. I'll try to stop going on those, but I'm just going to accept the one that I accepted last time. So this one from, I believe this one was the one I accepted last time from Smith Buyer, Bubblegum Agent. I'm going to accept that one so that my commissions tab can open up. So I'm going to click accept. Offer's been updated. Now you'll see this commissions tab. So I'm going to click on this, and you're going to see a lot of the information is going to automatically fill in there. Like I said, as long as we have this details screen filled out, we're going to get a lot of auto-filled information. You'll see sales price, commission. What I did here was I was just working on the math with someone. If I wanted to put 6,000, it's going to automatically take into account that it's going to automatically do the percentage for me. A lot of times what I'm seeing is that people are going to get these error messages. Total agent commissions do not equal the total commission for the opportunity. There's a couple places where this error message can get fixed. So here we have the sales price, commission percentage, all of that automatically filled out. What isn't going to get automatically filled out when you change stuff is if we scroll down a little here to this agent breakdown. You'll see this total commission portion is going to still say 12,040. If I change that to 6,000, a lot of error messages that you're going to get are going to go away. You'll see that now that error message is no longer showing. I just have to make sure that this number and this number match. Now, there may be some people who look at this and say, okay, well, I have a referral, or I need to, this add co-broker payment means that I need to put someone else on here. I would not worry about adding the co-broker payment. I don't think there's any situation that I've seen yet where anyone in our office needs to worry about adding a co-broker payment. So for the time being, or unless someone chimes in, do not worry about that co-broker payment. If I could take it away, I would, because it's only caused problems. So again, you'll see all of this is going to be broken down. One thing that I have seen, these numbers are a little bit inaccurate sometimes. So when I open up my screen, when I have someone's DA in my little Winmore system, this right here, which actually a lot of you have probably never seen. Anytime I talk about my system, how the numbers are right in my system, this is what I mean, this little program that they have me use. So let's say I have capped, but this thing still shows me owing $6,500. And I'm afraid that when I submit that, it's going to take away money. It's going to take some of my 30%, even though I've capped. It won't. Once you submit it, I actually have to take it and import it into this system, which automatically has your numbers, the correct numbers filled in. So it's like a green sheet in that even if your numbers aren't matching perfectly, mine are. And okay, let's see. Cover payment, would that be used for outside referrals? No, we're going to get to outside referrals here in a second. Someone asked about co-broker payment being used for referrals. I'll get to that here in a second. So again, all of this is going to automatically fill in. I think over time, these numbers are going to be accurate, where you're going to know all the time exactly how much you still owe. I don't know exactly what will make them accurate or how long it will take, but you'll at least be able to see immediately all the splits. And again, you saw that I didn't have to type any of this in. So I know on a green sheet, normally you'd have to check whether or not you were capped on royalty and capped on company dollar. I didn't have to fill out any of that. It all populates over here as well. And it's going to show me what my exact check amount is too. So if you know that your check amount is supposed to be $3,840 and you get a direct deposit in your bank account tomorrow that's for $3,840, you'll know what that is for. The green sheet numbers, it really depended on how you filled it out. There was a lot of you filling stuff out on green sheets, and now the computer just automatically does it, which I'm happy about. Here, you would just let me know if you wanted to donate money to KW Cares or KW Kids Can, and again, that will all populate over here to show you exactly how much money you're getting at the end. So now if you want to put in a referral, so let's say you have a referral and in the documents you have gotten their W-9. This is where it gets a little tricky. So to add a referral, a lot of people do think that it would be that co-broker payment, but it's not. They've made it a little tough to get to the referral spot. So I'm going to show you where that is right now. Down here at the very bottom where it says add item, we're going to click that. And it's going to ask us what we want to add. Bonus, concession, deduction. And if you go down here, you'll see inside and outside referral. Inside, just to clear that up as well, an inside referral is only when they are a part of Keller Williams Great Smokies. So if you have a referral to someone in Keller Williams Professionals, that's Keller Williams in Asheville, that's still going to be an outside referral. Only an inside referral if it's someone who is actually under the umbrella of Keller Williams Great Smokies. And also, if you don't know if they're a part of Keller Williams Great Smokies or not, feel free to ask me. But that situation should not arise too much. Outside referral, though, here's where we're going to enter that. Let's say you had a referral from someone in Florida. You're going to click this outside referral, and it's going to have you enter in this information. So this is where it gets a little tricky. You have to make sure that this information is right so that I can, A, at the end of the year, get our taxes right, send them the correct 1099 information, and B, send that referring agent the check. So you're going to put what the percentage is. So let's say this one is 25%. It's going to automatically fill in that amount. And again, if it's just if you said, hey, I'm going to give you $1,000 no matter what, I can fill in 1,000. It'll automatically fill in the percentage for me. These two go hand in hand, so you can fill out either one of them. Tax ID type. So there should only be two, yeah. If it is a singular person, so let's say it's Mary Ellen Lipinski, which some of y'all will know is familiar, she is going to have a social security number, and you're going to type that in. If it is someone at a firm, though, you're going to need their tax ID number, which is this EIN, and that's going to be usually like an 86. I think ours is like 2010503 or something like that. And you'll know the difference between these two. Either A, if you see it on the W-9, there's two places they can fill in a tax ID. The top one is Social Security. The bottom is tax ID for a business. Also, if it starts with 3 numbers and then has the dash, it's a Social Security. If it starts with 2 numbers and then has the dash, it's a business ID. So that's just a quick note on how to differentiate between those two. Again, broker company name. Let's say it's Keller Williams Professionals. Agent name. Let's say Jeff Stewart. Address. Theirs is 86 Ashland. I'm not going to fill out the rest of this just because. That's us. Just because, just for time purposes. But so that's where you enter that information, and then you would click add. Again, make sure that information is accurate when you are doing this if you have a referral. Because from what I have heard, if it's not, it's hard to change on my end. Because what mine does is it actually adds that company as an outside broker. So when you guys give me a referral and it's from a company that we've never done a referral to, I actually have to go in and add that company as an outside broker before I can put them into a DA. So to put them in this outside referral part, I actually have to add that that company into our system. So make sure that that information is correct, both for tax purposes and for me sending the check purposes. But yeah, so all of that will now go in, and what I can do is I can hit submit. But let's say that, and Allison will understand this because we've been working with them on this for a while. If you have both sides of the transaction, you are, right now we do an opportunity for a listing side and a buyer side. So if you have both sides of the opportunity, we're of course or both sides of the closing, we're going to have two opportunities because we need to get all the documentation in there. The firm has to have documentation for both. However, what you don't need to do is create a commissions tab for both of those. I can go in and change a DA from, I wonder if I can go in and actually change that from this says type right here, listing. I can change that to a seller if I need to, or I can change that to a B, which means both listing and sale. So all you need to do is when you have both sides, fill out the commissions tab only in one opportunity, so only in either the listing or the buyer, it doesn't matter. Fill it out for only one side. So $200,000 sales price, commission 3%, $6,000. That's only on the listing side. But what I want you to do, and you don't have to take this literally, some people have taken it literally, is just add some kind of note for me to know. So I'm going to click add note down here. That I know. Make sure that I know that you have both sides. Just add something down there that lets me know, because I see that as well. And so when you submit that, it'll come in as just a listing. But again, I can go in, let's see, what was that? I can go in and change it to both sides. You have 2 units, and I can make it so that your reporting will be correct on that. That will help you and help me, so that I don't have to have 2 DAs for it, and you don't have to do commissions tab for both the buyer and seller opportunities. So with that all done, you would just hit submit, and all I would have to do is go into our Command MC, look that up, and boom, it's right there. I can put it into our system. And another quick note, this is one of the reasons why I ask people to, when they submit a deposit slip to me or when they have a closing, for them to match somewhere the name of the opportunity with what they're submitting to me. If you submit something to me that says 123 Main Street, and then your name, but the opportunity is just like Smith listing, I'm not going to be able to find it. I'm going to be searching for the address, or a lot of time I am able to search for the opportunity owner name. But again, if the address is 123 Main Street, but the opportunity name is Smith Listing, and all of yours are Smith Listing, Wells Listing, Cease Listing, I'm not going to know which one of those it is. And again, then I have to get into contact with you. If you're not available, I can't close it out. So make sure that those are matching in some way, or that just somewhere in either the opportunity, or if you're submitting the deposit to me, you let me know what the name of the opportunity is. And that's also a nice little insight as to what it looks like when I search for y'all's opportunities. So I will go back to that, and we are right at 2:28. I scheduled this to end at 2:30, so we have a couple minutes. I don't mind going over a little bit, but I do want to be respectful of y'all's time. Does anybody have any questions? You can either type it in the chat, or someone is a great Smokies agent. Do we need the 1099? No. George Mills asked if it is a great Smokies agent, do we need the 1099? No, that's an inside referral. I basically I pay them like I would pay them normally. So no, you don't need to provide me with our 1099. Anybody else? All right, perfect. Well, We're right at 2:30, so I hope you guys will get into this. And in my opinion, it's a lot easier than green sheets if you know how to use it. Some people do still like using green sheets. Those will probably, I don't know if COVID slowed this down or anything, but I know we were told green sheets will probably go away by the end of the year. So if you haven't gotten used to this yet, now is a good time. Um, I I don't want what happened with Command as a whole and opportunities to happen with green sheets where everyone just says I'll do it when the time comes, and then it's a complete panic when the time actually does come and people aren't ready. So take, I mean, again, I put up a video on this, and there's a 13-minute video in that Loom library that I've sent y'all on how to use it. Take those 13 minutes or rewatch this video. It'll be on Facebook and it'll be on YouTube. Um, just to familiarize yourself with it, be ready so that when you have closings come in, you can get paid on them as soon as possible. So thank you guys for coming, and give me a call if you have any questions.